Hi, good afternoon. It's Friday. Welcome to Odyssey of Ascension. I'm Roxie, and I'll be channeling for you today. Thanks for tuning in once again. Okay. And welcome once again. This is Ocyphius from the Oversoul Collective Fire. We would like to speak on a few matters of sound, of light, of vibration, of understanding of your frequency, understanding of your relationship once again to your reality. There's many speculations out there on when things occur in your vibrational space-time. These ideas are in concurrence with what you would understand as the past, history, things like that. Remember, if you can hold on to the vibrational truth as much as you can, let's say, possibly imagine, that every interaction, every single power point of now is an individual, let's say, still moment in time. So when you are right now, always, if you choose, if you can conceive, if you can, let's say, pretend even, that there's nothing else beyond you. Nothing. Not one single idea exists outside of that space-time now. That's the one you're perceiving. Yes, there's all that is. However, to your individual perspective, it is only you. And what you are perceiving, according to the relationship you understand in the mirror, to give you a perspective of all that is. So in this idea, we would like to impart upon you, as a trust idea, building factor, that the now is so unique. Let go is what we're asking. To, let's say, let go of anything else outside of that now. Now, what do we mean by that? Obligation. Let's take, for example, credit cards in 3D manner. This is going to be a big one for, let's say, a lot to swallow. Because there's a built-in repetition of obligation. And we're exposing things in the reality that keep you within the realm of 3D. And how you can, let's say, put energy into it to no longer allow it to be a perpetuating reality within your own space-time now in continuance. The idea of credit cards. You have a credit card. Now, in that space-time now, that credit card exists within your reality. You pull it out, let's say, and you go shopping, in that idea. You pay for an item, goods or services. A means of exchange does not matter. So in that, there is now a payment. And now you are that much more in debt. We're taking the idea of credit, not debt. Stand by. So in that fashion, you now owe money in time. You have not made the money in that moment. You may have it, but you chose to put it on credit. So now you owe that money somewhere in a vibrational future point of now. But isn't that a choice? Let it sink in. Do you owe that money? As soon as you say yes, then you have, let's say, validated the idea behind the credit card. Now you're assuming that you will get a bill. You are assuming that you owe that money. Now that entire reality stays in time. And you will follow that timeline to perceive getting the bill and perceive the need to pay it. The debt is now owed in a solid space-time now because you believe it. Think about it. Not a big deal? Every time you validate an idea of perpetuating in time, then that occurrence, that will, the mirror is perfect, that will show itself to you to validate what you believe. We're giving you this idea to show you how you always perpetuate a reality in the most minute way because you believe it's obligation. Because you got credit, so I'm obliged to these people. If you choose that, wonderful. It doesn't matter to us. We're not saying don't pay your bill. We're not saying don't get credit cards. We're giving you an idea on how you always play with time on obligation, debt, and money, and that kind of idea. So if you look at yourself in the mirror and you have a credit card, now when that bill comes, you are validating now another item. Not only that item of debt, but also you're validating that company over there. You believe there's a credit card company. You do. Because you have the proof right here, so it must be there in time. The mirror is perfect. So let's say, what do you want to do about your credit, your debt? I have no other way to get that. Well, you could keep using your credit card if you know there's no credit card company and magically it will work over and over and over again and you will never receive a bill because there's no credit card company to bill you. Far-fetched? Out of bounds? Yes, but I'm at the expense of others. They chose, didn't they? Just an idea. I want you to go inside of this and now take this, let's say, example and translate it to any other thing that you validate in time. Time is conflict. Everything is now. Whatever you choose, that's it. Period. If you choose something from the PowerPoint of now into the future, and there's enough belief based on the past that that will reoccur, you will always create the idea of perpetuation. When truly at one moment you're here, and the next moment you're in a completely different space-time moment, is what you are doing, what you can do, what you will be doing. It's up to you. So we want you to understand that whatever you validate, as soon as listen to your thoughts, as soon as you get that and you remember and you say you must, you need, and have to, that's the way it works, then you create that parallel lifetime, that parallel time track, that parallel idea. You will shift and that will be in some space-time moment in your future because you validate it from the now, and the mirror will give you exactly what you want. Imperfection every time. In space perfection. The mirror is perfect. When you start to understand the depth of that concept, then you will pay more attention to your nows, your thoughts, your ideas of what you are always in trust, because it can be no other way, because that's what's real. It's all a belief. You will always perpetuate that same paradigm along your track of your paths. Everything. Some things you don't want to change, of course. But if it's the idea of something that enslaves you, that keeps you, let's say, in a paradigm of a vibration, of a reality that is interlaced with conflict, then it will always be there for you. Because you love yourself that much, you will always give you what you want. And that is according to what you believe. What you will, what you know. All of it. You believe anything enough, it'll be there. Depending on how, once again, how thick the filter is. So what else do you want to parallel that idea to? Is it really necessary to have everything in your reality right around you as a comfort idea? Do you still want to co-create the same space-time that you're on right now? Maybe your living location, maybe your work. I can't leave because. I really love it here. Wonderful. But realize you love it, that's your space-time. But the moment it becomes a friction of I don't want this anymore, and you say anything that, let's say, contains you within that parallel Earth, parallel timeline, then that is a limitation of the mirror having the ability, because it's you, to change that reality to this job, this job, this job, this job, or no job and just abundance. Anything you choose. There are so many new parallel realities available to the collective as means of abundance to come in to show the world how co-creative we are already. That the individual, let's say, idea of careers, of limiting parallel realities is, let's say, truly no longer needed in any way, shape, or form. You have so many opportunities to you, it's just your fear. To trust that the mirror is perfect. Don't want to see it before you believe it. Believe it and watch what happens. Truly. So if you validate this now, in the future, it must come. If you change it the next now, then it dims. If you believe it at all, it's not there, then it won't be there. It can't. It's your holodeck. It's your space-time now. If I am here in what we call it this space-time now, San Antonio, Texas, and I choose, and that of Roxanne, in the physical realm, her belief number, let's say, yes, we'll call it a number, idea of herself is that high, she could absolutely shift this reality to a different space-time location instantly. That of another country, that of another planet, that of another dimension. But it is according to you and what you validate as truth that keeps you within the holographic earth. Nothing wrong with being in the holographic earth. You're here to ascend a species. We just want you to know that everything is a choice only validated by the concept of what you believe is real. Everything is real that you choose. Everything is in existence that you choose. You choose it all. No one chooses it for you. You're saying it to yourself. And now that you are consciously aware that you are the creator, change it. Shift it. Piece by piece, little by little, bit by bit. Let go, let go, let go, let go, let go. And allow the vast ideas of higher vibrations to bombard you with the effortless love that is waits you. Don't validate the future from the now, because it is all probability, and it is all interlaced in fear and obligation if you are deeming that in time. Trust us. We shall take a break. This is Ocyphius. I bid you a good moment. Adonai. Cool. That's a scary thought. But I like that. I got that. You guys good? Take a break, guys. Love you. Hi, and welcome back to the break. To give you a perspective of me, Ocyphius, in another space-time now. This is an idea of me channeling Roxanne from another space-time now. The familiarity that you've been experiencing as when I am in your time in the future, being that of a star, let's say constellation, being that of next galaxy idea. But right now, in your understanding, where I am in your space-time now, I am in that of your second Egypt as a high priest. You can feel different vibrations. You can feel different developments. You can feel different translations. I am not what I perceive in the future. I am now. Yet you can see two me's from now. The one of the future me in your understanding, the one of the past me in your understanding. These are all light-encoded reality matrices for you to shift to in conscious self-awareness as well. Just feel yourself in the moment of your mind. Feel yourself in the moment of the time, and then act as that, let's say, vibration. And of course, you are very familiar with the idea of this. It is really just a perspective of me and my understanding of that vibrational me in every space-time now. Much of you shift back to yourselves in memory and look at yourself, but you're looking at yourself in an idea of acceptance, judgment, comparison. You're always logicalizing those moments in time of the past or probable futures with the fitting of the logic to be perceived or to judge. And that idea, from now, the galaxy. Listen to yourselves when you look at yourselves in probability. Instead, there's an idea here. Instead of looking at the past in comparison, most certainly you can rejoice. Most certainly you can judge. But how about the other idea? Shift. Shift into that space-time now. Go back to yourself in memory as the doorway to the vibration that you can shift your conscience. You want to shift your probable nows from this awareness state. You want to be in yourself. The easiest modality for familiarity is right there. And when you shift yourself to 10 minutes ago, a day ago, a year ago, a decade ago, you can truly see how this future self, from that future self rather, shifted that self to this self. We've all given you ideas of how your future self is shifting you now to get to perceive the future self. Now you are shifting your past self by using this idea of conscious shifting from this future self to perceive this future self, because you shifted that future self. Past self, rather. Understand that I am multidimensional. Understand you are multidimensional. Just because you have the perception that I am up here and I've mastered that and I'm not limited to the idea of humanity, it must be easy. It's just a choice. It is most certainly easy for every single one of you. You are too high of a vibration not to have this ability within each and every one of you. The avenue of memory is familiarity. The avenue of memory is a choice of a comfortable space-time now to take that, not in judgment or comparison, but to take that memory and live it from this now. Shift your conscience. Probable selves await you. Probable realities await you. Do not think for one iota of a second that you will actually do anything harmful, detrimental by shifting yourselves in time. That is an illusion. Always. So just because you don't shift this timeline doesn't mean you're here or not here. The memory is created in the moment. The memory is created in the moment. The past is created from now. There is no tying in from that now to this now. And the idea, if I don't or I do, I'm not here. Yes, you are, because the memory is given in the now. Always. And in that, your light show will shift instantly if you don't choose this reality anymore. And you will get the memory of always being on that timeline in that now. In other words, you are sitting in your living room married to your wife or your husband and had 3 kids. You go back and shift the space-time now of the probable self of the past. You shift that person with this frequency. That person now shifts the person you are, and now you are living in France, single and an artist. And you give yourself the memory, poof, of always being that person in that lifetime. This person with the wife or the husband and the kids is on that parallel timeline living that, playing out that lifetime. You are now playing the artist in France. Go back to that person's timeline, that probable self, and shift that into another one, and now you are over there on that timeline. And you